Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cartoon Doodle Draw Along with me, Mr Wyatt. Today we're going to be drawing one of my favourite cartoon animals, monkeys. We're going to be starting with a cheeky, laughy, fun monkey emoji style cartoon, and then we'll step into a more animated monkey swinging through the trees. Grab a pen or pencil, some scrap paper to do some test shapes and lines, and some paper to draw our actual pictures. Let's get going. So for you at home, I'm going to be using pens because A, I enjoy writing and drawing with pens, but also because it shows up really well on the camera and nice and clear. I'm going to be using an orange pen to represent any pencil lines I do, and then a regular black pen for the actual picture. You can use a pencil at home and then you can go over it in pen and rub out those pencil lines afterwards to finish with your picture. First of all, I'm going to start on my scrap piece of paper here, just warming up and doing some lines and shapes. So I'm going to start with a nice quick sketchy spiral. Always practice some circles, big and small. Some quick, some fast, some slow. Okay, and again, it's cartoony, it's sketchy, so they don't have to be perfect. Practice some squares, some straight lines. I'm also going to practice some wobbly lines as well. And you're going to do like a train track. You're going to run parallel and try and see if you can keep the distance between those lines the same all the way along. And this is a really good technique to practice, especially when we're doing our Adventure Time inspired sort of noodly arms and limbs. Again, you can go at your own speed, so you might want to take your time a little bit more trying to get those parallel lines, or you might want to go really quick and sketchy, and that's absolutely fine as well. But once we've warmed up with our shapes and lines, we can also think about some of the letters that we might be using in this cartoon. So we're going to be using the letter C, a curved, bumpy letter M, and we might also end up using the letter D, and many more that will sneak into the picture as well. But keep an eye out for them and see if you can spot them. So, as I said before, we're going to start off with a cartoony emoji style smiling monkey. So for you at home, you can go over to your pencil to begin with. I'm going to start with our shapes. So taking up the majority of the page, we're going to do the head of our monkey, and you're just going to draw a rough circle. Okay. We're then going to do a letter C on one side, connecting those up, and on the other side. So I'm doing a backwards one on that side, and those are going to be our monkey ears. And then also going to do that big curved M as well. 1, 2. Just like so. So now that we've got our sort of underlayer that you can have done in pencil, we're going to go back to our pen. And we're going to start adding in some of those block lines. And then again, you can go back, having done this in pencil, you can rub it out afterwards and then you won't be able to see them. So we're going to start with this left side ear. And I'm going to come around. If you want to, you can add maybe a few little tufts of hair and connect it back up. And then I'm not going to do that inside line. Instead, I'm just going to follow round the underside of the circle. Now, on this side, what I'm going to do is the same, but we're going to have the head turned ever so slightly. And this is a really fun technique. So instead of going all the way past the ear, I'm just going to go part way and then break off. Part way in. So I've left a gap. But what that's doing is it's giving a level of depth to the picture, just so the head's turned ever so slightly. I can do the outside of this ear. Maybe there's a tuft of hair there as well. And then I'm going to carry on this line up to near the top, and then we're going to have a tuft of hair on our monkey's head. Just a few spike lines like that. If you want to, you could do one the other way as well. And you could mess around with lots of different sort of hairstyles for our monkey. But give it a go at home and get creative. And then I'm going to continue the line back around to the top of that ear just there. Now we're going to do this M shape over the top, which is going to be sort of the mouth of our monkey, where there's lighter fur. So again, you don't have to stick to these lines perfectly, but it's a good, useful tool. So there we go. And now we're going to add in the big monkey nostril. So you can use a letter O for this. I'm going to do one on this side and one on that side. And depending on what type of monkey you're drawing, you might want to colour them in differently. Potentially maybe some purples or reds if you're doing maybe a baboon, or you could just colour them in black. It's up to you. Or just get creative. Any colour you want. Could be an alien monkey maybe. Or a monkey that's fallen in some paint. Okay, so now we've got our nostrils. We're going to draw that big cheeky grin. So I'm going to turn my piece of paper on its side here, which is going to help me get a nice equal curved line. I'm going to come across like so. Do a curve around and almost following that bottom line of the chin. I'm going to come around and complete the curve there. Bringing it back, you can see now we've got that sort of open mouth shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to use lines to make it look like the teeth. And this almost ends up looking a little bit more like the shape of a peanut, which is interesting to say that we're drawing a monkey, but there we go. So I'm going to draw a line across the middle, like so. And again, there's lots of different ways of drawing cartoon teeth. So this is, at this stage, really simple, but that can be as far as you'd like to go, if that's up to you. But we're going to add some cross lines and really add in that detail. So one in the middle between our two front teeth of our monkey. And then we'll go for two on either side. There we go. If you wanted to, you could have maybe the monkey's missing a tooth or something. So you could colour in one of those teeth dark and then it looks like they're missing a tooth as well. So that's another really fun hint or tip if you're creating a character with a bit more sort of style. So now we've got our mouth, we're going to draw our eyes. Coming back over to our scrap piece of paper, there are lots and lots of different types of cartoon eyes. I've shown these in various videos before, but just as a quick recap, I always do very simple, just two lines and maybe some eyebrows. Or you could go for quite classic cartoon eyes, two circles with pupils. If you wanted to, you could use that M shape again, but with a straight line across and dots like so. Or you might want to go more manga sketchy style. There's so many different types of cartoon eyes. So maybe have a look at some cartoons, other illustrations, maybe in books or online, but you can have a look and get some inspiration. But we're going to keep it super simple, and I'm going to draw two bumps as though the eyes are closed and laughing. One, and then I'm going to mirror it on this side. Two. So there we have it. There is our simple, smiling, funny cartoon monkey head. And we're now going to take this design and we're going to build onto it into a more animated monkey moving through the trees. So I'm going to flip over and draw on this side. Starting off with that same shape of our monkey head. Again, if you'd like to, you can go with pencil to work on those shapes and letters first and then build on it. But we're going to go a little bit more sketchy this time. So I'm going to go straight in with the pen or pencil for you at home. But we're going to get going following those shapes, drawing it smaller so we've got enough space on the paper to add some imagery around. So imagining that my circle is there, I'm going to start with that ear. Come around, all the way around for the chin. A few spikes for the tuft of hair on top and complete that circle. And the other ear on this side. And this time I'm going to add a little bit more detail to the ears, even though we're drawing it smaller. So I'm actually going to do another curve in there. And if I flip it upside down, I can show you it. It's actually going to look like a letter D on the inside of the ear. Just like so. Then got that soft the M shape. Add some nostrils. Some quick cartoon eyes. Some eyebrows for personality. And a little cheeky smile. We're then going to add in the neck and the rest of the body. So on our previous videos, we've been talking about hands and feet and facial expressions. So if you'd like to get creative, go back and watch those videos for some more inspiration. But we're going to be putting all of those skills together to now make our monkey's body, arms and legs as it's swinging through the trees. So 2 little lines down like so. My favourite, the magic chin shadow that immediately makes it pop off the page. Really, really great tip. We're then going to add the arms in. So thinking a bit again about how our character is slightly turned away from us, we're going to have one arm coming up here. And again, I'm doing these quick and sketchy for that sort of light movement style of cartoon. I'm going to have our noodly arm curling up there like so. We'll come back to that hand in just a little while. The other arm is going to be behind that neck. So I'm going to go not from the end of the line, but part way down. And it's going to be swinging down this way. There we go. Now the stomach of the monkey, sort of the front of it, its chest, we're thinking about where this monkey is swinging and what movement it's actually taking. So I'm going to do a curved line like so. And then from the underside of this arm, again thinking about what's in front and behind. It's not going to be at the end, but just to the side there. And again, we're adding levels of depth just by making tiny changes to where we connect those lines. Now for the legs. Very Spider-Man style-esque, swinging through the trees. So if you want to, you could even take this sort of style and add a Spider-Man overlay to it. So draw this in pencil and then draw the Spider-Man over the top in pen. I've had quite a few people ask me to do some heroes, so maybe we'll have a go at that in a future episode potentially. So we're going to start adding in our arms and legs now. Our hands and feet now on top of our arms and legs. So thinking about what the monkey's grabbing or holding and where the angle is coming from. So I'm going to do little tufts on the end of each of these. And then we're going with our hand first, and it's going to be holding a vine. So I'm going to draw a curved thumb. And then 1, 2, 3, letter C's connected to each other, and those are the 3 cartoon fingers. Again, if you want it to be correct, then you can have 4 fingers, but we're keeping it simple because it's quite small and detailed. Then on the inside of that hand, again, I'm going to draw it really sketchy, just a curved line fading away as I pull that pen off the page as I sketch those lines. And we could add in a few leaves as well on the vine that this monkey is swinging on. We're going to come down and add in this hand here. And we can copy that hand if you'd like to. You can even rotate the paper. So we're doing a thumb. And then 1, 2, 3. And we can draw a banana in this monkey hand. And then we're going to add in those feet, keeping them really, really simple, but just with a few curved lines. Again, nice and quick and sketchy. There's 1. And 2. Finally, our monkey is missing one key feature, its tail. Keeping it balanced and helping it swing through those trees. Again, we're going to make it nice and noodly along with our monkey arms and legs. So coming out from the back here, I'm actually going to have it go behind this leg. But again, it's those parallel train track style lines. Thinking about where the lines appear and disappear. And there we go. So now we have our monkey tail. And if you'd like to, you could add some movement lines to the cartoon to again show that it is swinging through the trees. There we go. We're now going to add some background detail. And again, with this, I'm keeping it really light and sketchy. And if you're working in pen, you could even press lighter on the paper to keep the image of the monkey to really stand out against everything else. So coming down from the top of the page, all I'm going to do is some curved lines. Those are going to be our jungle style trees. And again on this side. There we go. Now I'm going to come down with a few lines. I'm actually going to make a V shape, but it's going to be wobbly, and these are going to be the branches towards the trunk of a tree. If you want to, you can go all the way up to our image, but because I'm keeping it light and sketchy, I'm actually going to leave a gap. So we've got a real standing out picture of our monkey. Again, keeping it super sketchy. Coming down in a few different ways. And there you have it. There is a monkey swinging through the trees with a tasty banana. So I hope you've enjoyed this other episode of Cartoon Doodle Draw Along with me, Mr. Wyatt. Again, if you would like to submit any of your artwork, it's always fantastic to see how everyone's managed to get on. Some of you have done some amazing colouring jobs and everything, but you can email them to me to cartoonwithmrwyatt@gmail.com. Eel words. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.